It's Deep Purple right here on your Classic Metal Show with Perfect Strangers from the CD of the same name. And if you follow the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions, Richie Blackmore will not attend the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Of course not.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Every time there's one of these Hall of Fame inductions, there's always some kind of chafing going on with members of bands, etc.
Right. Do you think that it's because they have to get back to talking to each other again?
No, this really has nothing to do with this particular incident has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Peter Cetera, formerly of Chicago,
right?
He will not be attending the ceremony either. So Cetera will not be joining Chicago on stage to accept their induction either.
So this award ceremony this year is going to be just a big bag of shit.
Well, Cetera was all in on it.
Yeah, and the band doesn't want him.
No, that's not true.
Who doesn't want him?
I guess from what I understand, I don't have the full story. Mm-hmm. What I understand is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame powers that be want the bands to perform together. They want they want them to come out and perform.
Sure.
Well, I don't know if it's on Cetera's end or if it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame management per se.
Right.
Well, Cetera, I guess, made a few suggestions as to some songs that he'd like to participate in.
Okay.
And apparently the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame management or whoever's in charge vetoed the ideas. So he'd been working back and forth, and basically it just didn't work out. And he just basically said, okay, you know what? I've had enough of this. It's just like, just send my award to my house, will you?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. And the Deep Purple one isn't that's the band though. They just said, if it ain't this lineup, we're not performing.
No, I'm going to read the story here, but I want to finish up with Cetera first.
Okay. Yeah.
This is Cetera's, basically this is his, statement.
Okay.
I just sent this to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame people. This is the short, high road, nice version of what I really wanted to say.
Okay.
I'll post that response at the appropriate time. Nice. Hello, Alex and Joel. Those are the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame people.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this scenario does not work for me. I know we all did our best to make it happen, but I guess it's just not meant to be. Personally, I'm frustrated and tired of dealing with this, and it's time to move on. I have a life with 2 beautiful daughters and a solo career, and it's time to get back to giving them my full attention they deserve. Thanks for all of your help and consideration. Have a great show. Please send any individual award I receive to the contact you have for me. All the best, Peter Cetera.
In other words, fuck you, pal.
Yeah. The previous statement was, hello, everyone. I know you're all waiting to hear what's happening with the Hall of Fame. I know how frustrated you all are, and trust me, no one is more tired and frustrated than yours truly. I had a conference call with the musical department today, and I presented another song option. Right now, it's about a 50-50 chance that we can hammer something out this weekend. Frankly, folks, I'm done with this. If it doesn't work out, here's hoping that this one works out. I'll let you know either way as soon as possible.
And it didn't.
It didn't work out. So it's not with the band.
Yeah. So, yeah. So why don't you just agree to it and then play whatever you want?
Well, I know. So, getting back to Deep Purple.
Yeah.
Former Deep Purple guitarist Richie Blackmore has revealed that he will not be attending this year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony because the current lineup of the band is unwilling to perform with him. Richie was honored by the offer of the induction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. reads the posting on his official Facebook page. He was discussing the possibility of attending until we received correspondence from the president of the Rock Hall of Fame, who said that Bruce Payne, management for the current Deep Purple touring band, had said no.
Wow.
Emphatically, with 4 exclamation points.
Boy, there's some real ugly hatred there.
Apparently. Therefore, Richie will not be attending the ceremony. He sincerely thanks all the fans that voted for him and for their support.
Boy. You know, how much hatred do you have that you can't suck it up for 10 minutes?
That's kind of my thought. It's just like, it's one evening. It's not even the whole evening. It's just hey, thanks for the induction. Thanks for, being fans all these years.
Yeah. You probably don't even have to rehearse Smoke on the Water, which is what you're going to have to play.
Right.
I'm sure Richie Blackmore can play that song blind. And certainly the current band of Deep Purple can play that song blind. I don't get it. I don't get why they can't just say, fuck it, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't even have to shake hands. Don't even have to. Ian Gillan could stand on one side of the stage and Richie on the other.
Sure.
What's the problem?
Blackmore is the co-founder of Deep Purple and wrote many of their memorable riffs, including Smoke on the Water, but he has not played with the group since 1993.
Yeah.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony seemed like a rare opportunity to see them on stage together, at least for one night. And in December, drummer Ian Pike told Rolling Stone he wasn't sure what would happen.
Right.
We have to accept that there are personalities that don't see eye to eye in our history. Mm-hmm. How would that work? I have no idea. Whether that could be put aside, I don't know. Put it aside.
What do you mean you don't know? Why don't you call up fucking Roger Waters or David Gilmour and ask them how they were able to do it for one fucking performance?
Yeah, what was it? That something 8? What was it?
Live 8.
Live 8, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were able to do it, and their fucking feud was way more public than Deep Purple's.
Sure.
Come on.
Some of us would think about performing with Blackmore. Some of us probably wouldn't. It depends on how it's presented and what everybody's individual feelings are.
Enough with that nonsense. Get out there and give the fan. As much as I think that the Rock Hall is a bag of shit, and I really think it's I think it's a despicable place.
I agree. I completely agree.
But my God. If don't do it for the Rock Hall, you fucking dickheads. How about you just say, you know what? We're all fucking millionaires up here because of these fucking people.
Yeah.
They want to see 5 fucking minutes of Richie Blackmore. So play Smoke on the Water and then something from fucking Bananas or whatever.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing. Without Blackmore's early influences and input, you guys probably wouldn't be in the Rock Hall.
Fuck no. Well, from 93, let me pull this up because I have all the Deep Purple albums. Here's the list of jewels that they've put out since 93. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Perpendicular, Abandon, Bananas, Rapture of the Deep, live album. Now What? I'm not sure when The Battle Rages On, Slaves and Master. None of these produced anything, did they?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, all you needed to have was Deep Purple Machine Head, Made in Japan, maybe Burn.
Perfect Strangers.
Yeah, and Perfect Strangers. That's all you needed. Even the last couple of records with Richie weren't that good. That House of the Blue Light, that was fucking junk.
Right.
Is he still on that? Is he playing that one?
Yeah, he was on that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was garbage. So, but it's about Blackmore. Blackmore should be part of this.
That's my point.
Ian Gillan is nobody without Richie Blackmore. So suck it up, dickhead, and fucking deal with it.
Sure.
For one afternoon. God.
I agree, but think about it. Let's go back to the most memorable snubs you can think of.
Okay.
You got Guns N' Roses. Axl didn't show up.
Yeah.
You got Van Halen.
Right.
The Van Halens didn't show up. Neither did David Lee Roth.
Right.
Okay. They didn't show up.
Right.
Then the Blondie wouldn't let her former bandmates play with her current lineup.
Right.
Then you had John Fogerty. who wouldn't play with CCR.
Right.
I'm not playing with them dudes. You know, it's like,
it's like, get over it.
Yeah,
already.
it's just like, put it aside. 15 minutes.
Yeah. And it'll probably make both of your products more valuable.
Sure.
You know, I can't imagine that there's any way, shape, or form that doing 15 minutes with fucking Richie Blackmore doesn't add value to a Deep Purple tour.
Right.
You know, and I certainly can't imagine that 15 minutes with Peter Cetera doesn't add value to a Chicago tour.
Right.
Isn't Chicago like trying to work it out for like one tour?
Yeah, they're trying to do a tour with Cetera.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean that's nothing but value to the band.
I mean that's arena.
Yeah.
I mean, not that they're not playing big sheds now, but that's an arena tour.
Yeah, of course. And Deep Purple, I mean, what does Deep Purple play now? They still play fairly large rooms, don't they?
They play like 6,000 or 7,000 seaters.
Yeah, they're not playing the Agora Ballroom.
No,
they're playing a decent sized room. But it would be enhanced if they showed up and did Smoke on the Water.
I agree.
That Rock Hall, it does nothing but prove out what entitled, spoiled dickheads these rock stars are.
No kidding. You
know, and that's really what it comes down to. These guys have been very, very spoiled their whole life. And that's what stops it. You know, if this was a day job, Ian Gillan wouldn't have any fucking choice.
Sure.
You know, if it's a regular job and you were having some award ceremony or something, this fucking guy couldn't go out there and say, well, I'm not going to play with the co-founder of this, or I'm not going to appear with him. Be like, fuck you, get up there.
It's not about you. It's about the fans, you idiots.
Yeah, that's what the Rock Hall is about. It's about fucking making a spectacle, you know, to the retarded people that still buy your box sets.
Sure.
That's really what it's about.
Yep. Guys
like Jackal 1. Jackal 1, and I don't... Jackal, call in if you would be so inclined. What is it? 800-497-5891.
Correct.
He's a hardcore Deep Purple fan.
Okay.
And I'd be willing to bet you that if Blackmore was there, he might find a way to go.
Right.
But to go see the Steve Morse band, he wouldn't go.
Sure.
You know. So I wonder if these guys even realize this. You know, it's fucking ridiculous.
Is that you, Jackal?
Sure is.
All right.
Jackal, if Blackmore was going to appear at this thing, at the Rock Hall thing, and I know you're as anti-Rock Hall as I am, at least I think you are.
Right.
You would probably find a way to go, wouldn't you?
Hell yeah.
See?
This fucking Blackmore, I have a question. Do you think, shit, I lost my train of thought. That Blackmore, I don't know. I just think it's a crack. I just think it's a crack of shit. Do you think maybe the Rock Hall, the band Purple told the Rock Hall, if Blackmore shows up, we're not going to fucking even show up? That's what I was wondering.
Well, according to the article here, it was the management for Deep Purple that said no.
Right. I read that same article, and Bruce Payne, I mean, he goes back to Deep Purple from the Perfect Strangers time. He's been managing them forever. And I know him and Richie were buddies at that point. So to me, I'm wondering if the band said, "Look, if you let that guy come, we ain't coming at all." So I don't know.
What they should have done is, you know, and I'll say this in all honesty, they should have Richie show up, and if Gillan decides not to show up, then they should have Coverdale show up and sing. He's being inducted.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think Rod Evans is going in too. Fuck, let him sing.
Yeah.
They can do Hush.
Yeah, or Hughes is going in. Let him sing.
Yeah, he can sing. I mean, what the hell? I was, when I read this shit earlier in the week, I was like, you got to be kidding me. I figured right off the bat when I saw the headline, oh, Richie's up to his normal shit, but this ain't him at all.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
So.
Yet again, the Rock Hall's an embarrassment.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. And I think it's all Gillen, personally. I think it's all Gillen.
Well, it's partly the rock. It's partly the Rock Hall too for letting it be an option. The Rock Hall should just say everybody that's been in Deep Purple is in. Period.
I read a statement. I think it was just yesterday that the Rock Hall rebutted that and said we did not say us personally that Blackmore shouldn't be there. This came from higher ups, which I'm thinking would be Purple's management.
Yeah, probably. It's probably Gillen. I mean, Gillen's the one that has the problem with Richie, isn't he?
Oh, it's big time Gillen. I think it's 99.9% of it is all Gillen. Yeah. I really do.
It's a mess.
Which is a sad thing because them guys used to room together back in the early days. I mean, the hatred that's gone on over the years is just ridiculous. And you know what? At this fucking age, it's time to bury the hatchet, at least for, like you said, the 15 fucking minutes.
Yeah, well, and even more to the point, look at how long the fans have been fighting trying to get Deep Purple in. Deep Purple is for 10 years, Deep Purple's been the band that everybody always says, well, if they're not in, then it's not even real. Now they're finally in and they're not going to show up?
Yeah, and I think, wasn't it Hetfield that even said that when they got inducted, 7 or 8 years ago?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck. I don't know. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
And I lost a lot of respect for Gillen because I know it's him. I fucking know it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck
that guy. All right. Unless you got anything else, I'm good.
All right. Hail and smoke.
Okay. Yeah, fuck you, pal. Hand job and fuck there.
Do you think Jackal's enjoying a little bit of the herb this evening?
Sounds like it.
Yeah. A little memory loss going on there.
Yeah, sounds like a little bit.
In a new interview with Rolling Stone, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame president and CEO Joel Peressman, says that he reached out to managers for the current lineup of Deep Purple and Blackmore to try and facilitate a reunion. Deep Purple's manager, Bruce Payne, told me they were unwilling to perform with Richie, he said. We've had many situations like this in the past, and many times these things get worked out for one night, and then they go back to their neutral corners the next day.
Yeah.
Peressman relayed the band's position to Carol Stevens, who manages Blackmore. I said to her, maybe you could take the high road and reach out to them and see if something can be worked out as far as a performance goes, he said. We would love to have them all play together. We always want to do that. We always want to see the actual inductees that haven't performed together in a long time, if they have the opportunity to come together for at least one night to do that. We'd like to see it as an organization, and I'm sure fans would like to see it too.
Yeah.
Kind of our point.
Yeah, except no one gives a fuck what they want to see.
Yeah.
Who cares what that fucking lopsided building wants?
Sure. Even if the two sides are unwilling to come to an agreement that allows Blackmore to perform with the current lineup of Deep Purple, the Hall of Fame still hopes that Blackmore decides to attend the April 8th ceremony at the Brooklyn Barclays Center. I did read on his website that he's having surgery on his hand this month, and he'll be out for at least a month, says Peressman. I don't know how that impacts his ability to play, even if he did come, but there is no way he is banned from the ceremony. That notion we would never do that we would ever do that is patently untrue. We've never banned any inductee. He is invited to come and enjoy the evening and accept the award.
Fantastic.
Deep Purple frontman Ian Gillan has been very consistent over the years that he would not reunite with Blackmore at the Hall of Fame. It would be unconscionable to think about bringing Richie in, he told the Rolling Stone in 2014. I don't have an issue with Richie, nor does anyone. I've been in touch with Richie recently and everything's cool, so there's no bitter personal problem. We're too old for that, and everything is in the past, but no, that would not be out of the question.
So clearly, everything before that last part where he said no is a lie.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, there's no issue at all, but there's no fucking way will I stand on stage with this fucking guy.
Right. Yeah. we don't have an issue, but I'm not going to be in the Hall of Fame with this guy.
Yeah, no issue at all, except I hate this fucker.
Yeah. According to Persimmon, the decision to allow the current lineup of the band to play was very simple. There were 3 inductees that have kept on as Deep Purple, including some of the original members still in the band. He says it's just fair that it's just fair that there's 3 of them and one of Richie. We want to have a performance that represents Deep Purple's music. David Coverdale and Glenn Hughes, who were both in Deep Purple in the mid-'70s, do plan on attending the ceremony, but as of now, the plan is for only the current lineup to perform. So, you know, it's out of the question that Glenn Hughes or David Coverdale could step up to the mic and maybe sing one line of one of the songs.
Right, of course.
You know, we couldn't do that.
No, can't do that. Burn wasn't a hit.
Yeah, we can't wrestle people to the ground and hold them down and make them perform together. If they want to and they can sort it out, terrific. If they can't, we can't make them.
Pathetic.
I know. So, you know, again, two huge bands. I mean, look at Chicago as like the second largest band as far as record sales in the American history of music.
Right, and they can't work it out.
Well, I don't know. Again,
the Rock Hall can't work it out.
The Rock Hall can't work it out. So Sarah says, you know, fuck it. I don't need it.
Why does the Rock Hall get to pick the songs they play?
I don't know the reason.
You know, that's bullshit. You know, I mean, yeah, I get it if they came in and said they want to play some uber rare song that nobody's heard.
Right.
Or some brand new song.
Sure.
You know, I get it that they could maybe limit it to, you know, songs that were hits maybe.
Yeah.
But, I mean, come on. What's the difference between playing, whatever, Color My World or fucking Baby What a Big Surprise?
Yeah.
Does it matter?
Yeah, 25 or 6-4.
Yeah, I mean, does any of it does it really matter? Is there something that's going to be worse if they fucking play Stay the Night or whatever?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it'd be worse for me, but, you know, if that's what they want to do, who cares?
Yeah. People just want to see, you know, as many of the original members, because I think Danny Seraphin, the original drummer, he's going to be there.
Yeah, look at that. Just Peter Cetera's not.
Yeah. So, barring one member who's deceased, it would be the original lineup.
Right. So is the replacement singer going to be there?
Jason Sheff?
Yeah. Is he in?
Yeah, he's in.
He got in.
Again, I can't answer that. I don't know that answer.
Like 30 years at this point.
Yeah. Well, he joined in 85.
Right.
Yeah. So it's been 31 years.
Wow.
He's been in longer than Cetera was.
Fuck yeah.
So there you go. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Hey, it's Jackal one more time real quick. Hey, maybe somebody made a point in the chat room. Maybe they should just get those two together with Eddie Trunk. Eddie Trunk can put everybody back together.
Sure. I got Deep Purple inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And he can do the same thing with Chicago. Get them guys together and let Eddie Trunk take care of it.
Right.
All right, boys. Hail and kill.
Hail and kill.
Fuck Taylor.
So, Cetera was willing to be a part of it.
Right.
And Richie Blackmore was willing to be a part of it.
Right.
But then, in the end, it got nixed.
So the highlight this year will be the 3/4 of NWA or 4/5 of NWA reuniting. Right. That's going to be the best performance.
And they're not even rock.
They're not even a rock band.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to see this? Not against Steve Morse, but would you go out of your way to, if you were a Deep Purple hardcore fan that has waited for this your whole life, would you fucking go out of your way to buy a ticket to see Steve Morse play?
No. Why would you do that?
You wait and pay fucking $40 for a regular ticket.
Sure.
So lame.
I agree.
God.
I agree. What are you going to do?
Not attend that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
Sure. Oh, well. So that's the latest on the Rock Hall debacle.
Yeah, that place. I wish somebody would just yank the fucking pole out.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, regardless of the institution or whatever, it's just like, why can't you guys just get it together?
Mm-hmm.
Just get it together.
It's that thing about rock singers or rock people, man. The fucking ego is huge.
Yeah, I know. But it's stupid. It's a one-night deal. You got there because of the fans.
Yeah.
Do the fans a solid and go, you know what? This is for you.
Can Deep Purple not look at their own catalog and say, yeah, we stopped selling records the minute this guy left?
Yeah.
We became just a band that puts out records in order to tour the minute this guy left.
Right.
You know, it wasn't Gillan, and it wasn't it wasn't because Joe Lynn Turner joined the band.
Sure.
It was because Richie Blackmore left.
Yeah.
That's when they stopped being relevant.
Well, another band who couldn't pull it together, even though that they had this big grandiose idea that they were going to, get together and do a tour. This isn't let's start again. This isn't reminiscent of the Rock Hall induction, but the band Genesis.
They
had gotten together and had meetings with Peter Gabriel to do a tour together.
Right.
And they met in a room, and they all kind of they had Steve Hackett, guitarist.
Right. And
Peter Gabriel. It was going to be the original lineup from the 70s.
Right.
And they got in a room together, and, well, we want to do this. Gabriel says, I want to do this. They said, fuck that. And he says, all right, I'm out.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Genesis is one of them bands. They could actually do 2 different tours.
True.
They could, because there's really nothing in common between, you can literally draw the line at Abacab and just say, okay, Abacab Up was one Genesis, and before Abacab was another Genesis.
Well, there were a couple of records before Abacab that Phil Collins became the dominant, singer.
Yeah, but none of them anybody cared about.
Well, there was, and then there were 3.
What was off of that?
Oh, I would have to go back and look
That's
at
the whole point.
But Abacab, yeah, that broke them out into the mainstream with the short songs and whatnot. Yeah.
That's when they became a hits band.
Yeah, it was, absolutely.
Yeah, and before that they were like a jam band.
And 3 Sides Live, I think that was kind of what launched them in there too.
Right. Yeah, that's a good live record.
Yeah, it's a good live record. But they were going to do this thing where Phil and Peter were going to just trade off on their own songs, just like kind of what you're talking about.
Right.
Only they were going to do this all in one tour. Peter would do the songs from the 70s that he was made famous for.
Right.
And then Phil was going to do the more modern stuff.
Right.
And they would just trade back and forth.
Yeah. That'd been fun. Wouldn't it have been fun to see Peter Gabriel doing some of their really shitty songs, like I Can't Dance or something?
Well, I don't think he would have done that. I don't think he would have done that, but yeah.
Peter Gabriel up there singing Illegal Alien.
Yeah, sure.
But Genesis did have some fucking shitball.
Right at the end of the popular era before Phil called it a day with them.
Right, I Can't Dance.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah, I think they hit their peak right at Mama.
That album. I listened to that this week. That album is so goddamn good.
I know, I agree. And after that, not so good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what was after that.
That was
Invisible Touch.
Invisible Touch.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
Mm-mm.
And then, actually, what was fairly good was the record they did with the other guy.
Oh, what was
Calling All Stations?
That's the one. Yeah,
that's a pretty good record, actually.
It doesn't sound like Genesis though.
No, not at all. But it's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good record, but it's not a Genesis record.
Yeah, it's kind of like when Jay Giles' band did the record after Peter Wolf.
Right.
With whatever that guy's name was. It was a good record, but no one knew it was even Jay Giles' band anymore because it didn't sound like him.
Sure.
Yeah.